AI at work is starting to look less like a productivity story and more like a rework story. Welcome to Paper Cut. One of the clearest signals is that many employees still choose not to use AI tools, even when access is available. That matters because the barrier is not distribution. The barrier is belief. People do not adopt what they do not trust, especially when the consequences of being wrong land on them. Some of that is caution. Nobody wants to be the person who ships a confident mistake. Some of it is professional pride. If the tool makes the work feel generic, people keep it at arm's length. Some of it is suspicion. If the tool feels like a performance ratchet, it becomes something you use only when you have to. The second signal is what happens after adoption. A growing share of AI productivity gains can be lost to rework. That is the hidden cost leaders often forget. AI can speed up the first draft, but it can slow down the finished output when accuracy matters. If employees are required to verify everything, the tool becomes a generator plus a checking job. Over time, that creates fatigue and resentment. This is why employee perception is not a soft issue. It shapes the entire trajectory. If workers believe AI exists mainly to increase output expectations, they will treat it like a trap. They will comply visibly and resist quietly. The organization will see activity and call it adoption, while the workforce experiences pressure and calls it distrust. Large employers are describing AI changing recruitment, evaluations, promotions, and career pathways. That can be positive if it makes skills more visible and progression clearer. It can also become corrosive if it turns into another black box that employees cannot question. When AI usage becomes a requirement for performance, the quality of governance matters more than the quality of the tool. Then there is the measurement layer. Some employers are turning AI use into dashboards and proof, the workplace equivalent of counting steps instead of improving health. In parallel, monitoring is expanding. When employees hear that their activity is being captured to train models, it changes how safe work feels. Even if leadership promises it is not for performance management, people do not experience it as neutral. Training is also being industrialized. Platforms are moving into AI training, and AI fluency is becoming an expectation. The question is whether learning time is protected. Learning requires trade-offs. When companies demand AI skills without making time for it, the predictable result is pretend learning and quiet resentment. Now, zoom out to early careers. A meaningful share of recent grads say they are overqualified. That is not just a feeling story. It is a pipeline story. When entry-level routes narrow and junior work gets reshaped, careers start later and confidence drops earlier. At the same time, hiring behavior is becoming more regulated, with new moves against candidate ghosting. This is what it looks like when recruitment experience becomes governance. Remote work sits in the background of all of this. Leaders keep resisting it, often for reasons that have little to do with productivity and a lot to do with control. Work design exposes management quality quickly. It also exposes whether a company is serious about outcomes or serious about optics. Cuts at major brands shape confidence across the market. They also change how AI rollouts are interpreted, because many workers assume adoption and headcount reduction are linked. Even when that is not the full story, it is the story employees hear. AI adoption rises when the rules are clear. Training time is real, and the risks are shared. Trust collapses when employees feel they are funding the upside and carrying the downside. The fix is governance, transparency, and manager capacity. That is what turns tools into working practices. Thanks for tuning in to Paper Cut. Don't let Monday catch you off guard. Subscribe now. See you next week.